what I wanted to talk about today was how depression is personal. And by that, what I mean is that it is unique to every single person. There's no one size fits all with a cure to depression. And I think while there's obviously very similar aspects to each person's depression to another's, and obviously things like a balanced lifestyle, healthy, living, such as good diet and a decent amount of exercise and sunlight, which I'm not getting enough of today because it's quite cloudy and murky outside. But those are common recurring things that are given. It's the nuances that make depression difficult to deal with. There'll be things in your life that will be unique and contributing to your situation and your lifestyle, and it's your job to recognize those. I don't think you can go to a doctor's and do this, because doctors aren't supposed to be there to tell you every aspect of your lifestyle. They'll see a condition and try and solve it. Going down a medication route is not a good idea. If you can afford a psychiatrist, it might be interesting to have those conversations. But before you go to that point, I think it's your responsibility to stop and think what those things might be, aside from the obvious. If you do all the obvious things that are on the internet, are in books, told to you by experts on, psychological health, and you're doing all those and you're still depressed, it's personal to you. It's not something that can be solved with medication necessarily. I personally don't think. I've never seen anyone be on medication and then be fine. There's always side effects that either limit their life in other aspects, or they struggle too much on the medication and have to change into a different kind of medication and become dependent on medication, which is not a good place to be in either. I think the first port of call is to take responsibility for yourself and deal with those individual things. And yeah, it's challenging, it's difficult. I mean, I don't think depression necessarily shows you as a weak person, but not doing anything about depression is questionable sometimes. And I think even when you've hit rock bottom with depression, or at least for me, I think it really tested my personality in terms of what I needed to do to get myself out of that position. And it got easiest when I hit the lowest point and had to bounce back, otherwise I might not have survived. And it sounds desperate, it sounds almost ridiculous me feeling that now, given that I'm a much more balanced and reasonable person than I was maybe a couple of years ago. But I've definitely been in that position where it really just feels like there's no solution to that. But I started looking inwards as if it is more to do with me than it is an outside external problem. It's something that I can deal with, and I have to recognise some of the issues with. I mean, honestly, there are people that do suffer from mental health problems that contribute to depression on top, and that's a different situation that I can't really say much about. But I believe I'm a relatively normal, healthy human being, and that's been an issue that's, obviously been a part of my life on top, but I haven't suffered from other psychological health issues that may contribute to that. I think most people watching this won't be suffering that position, so they can probably relate to what I'm saying, and should, at least consider my viewpoint in that. And I would never recommend anyone go on medication. I'm going to try and cut this short because I don't want to actually ramble, but the point was being that it's just try and look at the personal situations that might be contributing to your depression. If you already know those, then you know what to deal with. Regardless of how difficult it is, you know the problem. If you know in your heart of hearts what the problem is, you have to do something to solve or get over an issue that is in your life to deal with.